Merhaba dostlarım, Beyond the Steel Sky'ın yeni bölümüne hoş geldiniz. Bir önceki bölümde kimliğini kullandığımız Graham hakkında bilgi toplamıştık ve Sağlık Bakanlığı'ndan gelen görevliyle bir mülakata, bir toplantıya gireceğiz. Şu an Graham'ın eşi toplantıda, bizi de bekliyorlar. Hadi bakalım şuradan girelim.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham.
Yatak odasına
I
gir.
couldn't keep them waiting any longer.
Graham'la ilgili her şeyi öğrendik, yani bir
I had
önceki
to be
bölümde öyle
Graham
demişti.
Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
Hadi bakalım.
So, Mr.
Sağlık
Grundy.
Bakanlığı'ydı değil mi bu ya? Sağlık
Mentor
Bakanlığı diye
Alonso.
kaldı benim aklımda da.
What would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the
Sağlık
point.
Bakanlığı'ndan geliyor
I like
herhalde.
that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Abo bize soruyor. Konfor.
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah,
Abi
here
bir
we
önceki
go.
bölümdeki şeylerin ben çoğunu
Graham
unuttum.
Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort.
Umarım
Cleaning
teklemeden
supervisors
geçeriz.
require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
Health rate'imiz en son A çıkmıştı değil mi
I
bizim?
did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A plus now.
Excellent, excellent.
Aynen.
Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C plus right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B plus'taydık sanırım önceden.
B plus.
I didn't spot a plus on the record. Must have been my mistake. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
Dans. Dans salonu.
I find
Okay.
the dance hall an interesting workplace.
Dance hall?
Oh, silly me. That's our pet name for the land train division. Such a physical place
Ben
to
de dans
work, you
hareketi
see.
yapıyor sandım.
Private
Tren
joke.
hareketi yapıyormuş.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence.
İşe gelmememizin
15
nedeni.
days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively? Cat got your tongue?
Kalp mi? Kalbi gösteriyor. Göğüs mü? Kalp.
You mean my
Kalp.
heart regulators?
Ha tamam okey.
Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Okey. Allah'tan kadın yardım ediyor arkada.
I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
Hobi. Fotoğrafçılık.
You
Fotoğrafçılık
mean my
aynen.
photography?
I do, yes.
Askeri hobimiz de vardı ama
Can't beat the feeling of an
demek ki
old-time
fotoğrafçılık en
film
büyük
camera.
hobimizmiş.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
Oh,
It's
geçtik
been a
herhalde.
pleasure, mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the
Sonraki
last
haftada
2
neredeydik
weeks.
biz?
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Abla yardım et abla.
Okay,
Abla gözünü seveyim.
the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train.
2 hafta
2
mı
weeks
kaldın
later,
abi?
the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now.
Yok abi
would
yok
they?
hadi sen git.
Tampered with?
İşin var senin Alfonso
I
hadi.
didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I've converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos. Wait. How much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala. Tonight.
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too.
Good day, Mr.
Vay
and
çakal vay.
Mrs. Grundy.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Ne kötü performansı ya.
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Sorduğu bütün sorulara
Look,
doğru cevap
Buster,
verdik.
everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Kadın hiç demiyor sen Graham nerede, Graham'in çipini nereden buldun falan
Who
filan
even
hayırdır
are
sana.
you?
Ha?
Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Tamam, şimdi odalar boşaldığına göre şu şeyden pencereleri açmasını
Hello,
isteyelim.
Chipworth.
Chipworth'ten.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kahyalık
I need you
görevleri.
to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can
Pencereleri
you
aç
open the
bakayım.
windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
Tamam, Chipworth pencereyi açsın. Kuşun oradaki şeyi alalım biz de. Tamam. Ha, burası dolapmış. Kadının odasına biz de girebiliyoruz mu bir bakalım. Anne ayı.
In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on.
I will not have any industrial runoff coming into...
The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy.
Graham
I
askeri
didn't think
şeylere de
Songbird
meraklı
would
anlaşılan
appreciate me
abi.
rummaging through her things.
Tamam, açmış pencereleri. Şura neydi, sanki bir şey çıktı gibi. Jasmine.
Jasmine,
Jasmine masanın içine girmiş.
a Detective Culls. Someone liked their murder mysteries.
Aynanın içine gireceksin Jasmine, biraz geriden bak.
A trader came by our village with something like this back when I was a boy. I think he traded it for a table. Or at least that's what I had heard. A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing.
Bir tanesi eksik, envanterimizde var mı? Yok.
Excuse me, please.
Şimdi şuradan pencereyi açtı. Yukarı çıkalım. Şu kuşu da kovalamamız gerek. Onu nasıl kovalayacağız acaba? Dur bakalım şimdi.
The mentor, Alonzo, seemed to be arguing with someone.
Kuş bir git.
The plants needed watering, badly. The gang clearly didn't like having her nest disturbed.
Kışt. Kışt.
The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger.
Bu kuşlar çok sinir bozucu ha. Envanter. Sucuk versek gider mi sosis?
Here you go.
Hah. Güle güle. Hahaha. Şu kutuyu açalım o gelmeden. Hasarlı HoloLens, Graham'ın
Whatever was in
fotoğrafı.
the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph. A picture of a stalker. A child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it.
O arabaya binmiş bir tane çocuk arkadaşlar. Onun fotoğrafını gördü. Şu ipuçlarına bir bakalım bir. Songbird'le konuş. Bir sonraki Songbird. Songbird'den bazı soruların yanıtlarını alabilirim. Songbird. Songbird kimdi ya? Bu Chipword. Bu Jasmine. Evden çıkalım bakayım. Songbird kimdi abi ya?
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence. Please stand.
Torba.
The holdall was stained with paint. Looked like someone planned on doing some painting. Someone had spilt paint on the floor. With no hand scanners, I figured they were intended for droids.
Temizlik
The cleaning
robotu.
robot was clearly designed to carry heavy water tanks.
Aa, şuraya boyamışlar. Aa, yo, grafiti yapmışlar. Kim yaptı lan
Seal
bunu
had
Joe'ya?
been vandalized. Poor Joey.
Joe'yi Sparkless palyaçosuna döndürmüşler.
Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. The Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnippel Esquire sends his regards and/or condolences as appropriate.
How nice of you, Reginald.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnippel is of course Sir's human neighbor. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved Poet Laureate is beyond imagining.
Duvar yazısından
What do you
başlayalım.
think about the graffiti?
As an
Songbird kim
artist,
acaba ya?
I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
So you like the graffiti?
I said it was a valid form of expression, albeit not on a par with, say, the literary arts. But as art goes, it's not too abhorrent.
Who
Tarkin.
are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II domestic savant, at your service.
So you're a servant.
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aid.
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
Graham'ı
I'm
soralım.
Graham Grundy.
Of course, sir.
So we've met before?
Of course, sir.
When's the last time you saw Graham? Me.
Master Grundy, one is sure one doesn't need to remind Sir that one works with Sir's neighbor.
One would need one to remind one.
Ah, does Sir mean Sir would need one to remind Sir, or one would need Sir to remind one?
One is not sure anymore. You have a real way with words.
Aha, Sir is referring to one's grammatical prowess, no?
Yes.
Sir is too kind. And yet, if only one could translate grammatical prowess into poetic inspiration.
Çok konuşuyor bu
Heard any
robot da ya.
reports of missing children?
Why no, Master Graham? If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. See you
Güle
later,
güle
Tarquin.
Tarkin sana. Kendine iyi
Will
bak.
I?
Huh? It's just a phrase.
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Her şeyi ciddiye alma
Such
Tarkin.
ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am inspired.
Hadi sana eyvallah. Aha.
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Songbird bu kız mıydı yoksa ya?
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
At girl, keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each
Alfonso
other.
çok gıcık bir tip
Take
ya.
care now.
Kuş da biz kış yapınca kaçmıyordu. Alfonso'yu görünce kaçtı.
Miss? Pardon me, miss. Who, me? Hey, you can see forever up here. You know, be free.
Miss, you have to be careful.
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be.
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah.
Raquel Dijon'muş bunun adı.
Me? I think.
Raquel,
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
you need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no!
Oh,
Help! Help!
Hearing her name
Raquel
had triggered a
kendine
total
geldi,
change
aynen.
in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell.
Are you okay?
No! I don't know how I got up here!
Raquel! Raquel Dijon! Don't panic! I'm from the Ministry of Well-Being.
How can we help?
Nothing to see here, sir. I suggest you go back inside and enjoy some screen-based entertainment.
Excuse me? I'd like to make a complaint.
Ne entel
Please,
robot bu ya.
both of you, I'm a welfare officer. I know how to deal with this kind of problem. I just need to check the negotiation protocol.
Well, thank goodness the Ministry is on this. It's all very distracting.
How did
Nasıl?
you get up there?
I don't know! Please! I'm frightened!
She climbed the outside of the building. Astounding agility, by the way. Most
Ya robot bir sus ya.
impressive.
Tork muydun neydin
I
bir sus
don't
abi.
remember!
Bravo, miss!
Sit tight. We'll soon have you down.
Aşağı rota. Bir fikrin
Anyone
var
got
mı?
any ideas?
Yes, I do. I have an idea.
Go on.
Never use a simile when a metaphor suggests itself.
What?
I'm in the middle of composing an Aspiration Day poem, but my lexiconic cupboard is bare, so to speak. Hence the requirement for...
Wait, is this idea about your poem?
Well, yes. You asked if anyone had an idea. You were not specific to the context.
Anyone got any ideas to help the girl?
Kıza yardımcı olacak
I'm still
fikrin var
searching
mı?
through this ministry protocol, but to be honest, we've gone rather off script.
Keep looking. I'll see if I can find a practical solution around here.
Anlaşıldı.
What's your
Kim?
name?
Her name is Raquel. Now, would you please?
Raquel? Oh, but of course, that makes far more sense. She told me her name was Rat Girl.
Fare
But
kız
it
mı?
would appear her grotesque moniker signifies little more than a deplorable deficiency of elocutionary attainment. Rat Girl, indeed.
Please, gentlemen, now is not the time.
What are you painting?
Sir, please, you're not helping.
What? I didn't...
Bence de yani yardımcı olmuyorum ama onlara sormam lazım.
Her work is rather inspired, don't you think? I do believe art may be her calling.
Please, both of you.
Help me!
Can
Aşağı
you see
rota.
any way down from there?
No!
Okay, we'll see what we can do from here. Can you see any way down from there?
No!
We'll work something out. Hold on.
Tamam.
Don't worry, we'll get you down safely.
Şimdi bu kızı oradan indirmemiz lazım.
One hopes.
Şöyle bir bakalım. Yere düşen boya.
From that height, the the girl wouldn't fare much better than the cat.
Şuralarda falan bir şey var mı? Önce bu dışarı taraflara bir bakalım da abi. Kuş pislikleri.
This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds.
Acaba yukarıdan oraya giriş var mı? Nasıl çıkmış lan oraya? Şu üst katlardan falan. Şöyle bir bakayım da yoksa şey yapacağım. Ne onun adı? Aa, belki şeyin odasından vardır. Graham'ın odasından belki oraya bir şey vardır. Graham'ın odasında bir pencere vardı ya. Dur bakalım, karartma perdesi.
The blind blocked out all the light from outside.
Açamıyoruz bunu. Dur şeye bakalım. İpuçlarına. Ona ulaşabilecek biri ya da bir şey olabilir. Biri. Belki Chipward'u gönderebiliriz. Chipward.
Chipworth?
Hello, Master Graham.
Songbird
doesn't seem too upset about her husband.
Songbird
And
Jasmine'miş.
why would she be? The glorious Master Graham has returned to us.
Sounds like my wife didn't miss me all that much.
Orayı
I'm
kaçırmışım ben.
confident Madame Songbird's affection was simply kept hidden, on the inside.
I'd like to hear more about Songbird.
May I suggest that Sir speaks with the lady directly, or perhaps check her social media presence.
Lan robot anlat işte
That's
be.
how
Ne
Madame
yokuş
has
yapıyorsun?
traditionally spoken to you.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Bitkiler, çamaşır, temizlik, pencereler.
Never mind. Perhaps later.
Dur şu galayı
Very good,
soralım
sir.
bir.
What's this about a celebration tonight?
The Aspiration Day Gala. Madame Songbird was so looking forward to it. It is most unfortunate that she'll no longer be permitted entry.
Why? What happened?
Mentor Alonso has deemed you to be somewhat in need of care. He kindly converted Madame Songbird's kudos into more holiday days, so the two of you can spend some quality time together.
And what has that got to do with the gala?
Well, she now no longer holds the required level of kudos for entry.
So you're saying that it's my fault?
Would Sir like me to place an order for a bouquet of flowers?
Good
Yaptı
idea.
ya, evet iyi olur.
I think it's gonna need to be a really big bouquet.
Very good, sir. Order processed. Order shipped. Order out for delivery.
Oo, çok
I need
hızlıymış
you
ha.
to do something for me.
Yola
Just
çıktı bile.
say the word, sir.
Çamaşır, bitkiler, temizlik, pencereler.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
Chipward'dan hayır çıkmadı. Jasmine'le konuşalım. Belki onun yapacak bir şey vardır. Jasmine, Songbird. Pardon ya. Abi benim kafa gitmiş ya. Kusura bakmayın. Kadının adı Songbird. Şuradaki çiçeğin adı Jasmine. Ben de Jasmine'i kadının adı sanıyorum. Songbird kim diyorum ya.
Songbird, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Kafa gitmiş benim yine.
Terrific. As long as
İsim
you're
hafızam
sorry.
zayıftır benim
But
arkadaşlar.
tell me, what exactly are you sorry for? Turning up here? Pretending to be my husband? Or maybe you're sorry for making such a mess of it? All that kudos straight down the drain.
But
Do you know how much effort I've put into getting that gala ticket? How many months of fake smiles and loathsome dinner parties? Only to have Mentor Alonso convert it all into time off to spend with you! So, please explain. What exactly are you sorry for?
Eşinin kimliğini almam, görüşme. Görüşme için
That I
istiyorum
made
abi.
a mess of the interview.
I hope you realize what you've cost me. That gala was everything. Could you not have tried just a teeny bit harder to be Graham? The clues are all over the place.
Well, I tried.
Abi
I
girdik
suppose you did
işte.
at least get the
Adamın
bumbling
kendisi
idiot
dedi.
part right.
Yani
You don't
artık
seem
bakacak
too
bir şey yok.
distraught about your
Toplantıya girebiliriz diye.
Look, stranger. You
Kadın
told me your
yüzünü niye
secret,
göstermiyor ya? Ekranı
so I'll
gösteriyor.
tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Tell me more about Graham.
Keşke yüzüme konuşsan, koltukla konuşuyorum abi.
I think he might have been involved in something.
Kadın orada bug'a girdi ya, ondan
I
herhalde.
came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah blah conspiracy, blah blah giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
Graham was a conspiracy theorist?
Always was. But before he went missing, he really changed. He became secretive. He used to close the terminal whenever I came into the room.
That's not that strange.
And he started spending a lot of time in the bathroom. And then he just disappeared.
Okay, that's the weird bit.
Kudos.
What were you saying about kudos?
You mean all the kudos I've now lost, thanks to you?
Yeah, kudos. That's important, right?
Were you born yesterday?
Let's just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city.
O nasıl iş ya?
So kudos is bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower.
Ah,
Lower
pardon.
is better.
Alt seviyeler daha iyiydi ya şehirde arkadaşlar. Okey. Üst seviyeler daha kötü, alt seviyeler daha iyi. Çünkü zenginler şehrin alt katlarında yaşıyor. Kudos.
So you need a higher kudos to get lower?
Of course. That industrial pit up there hovers over me like a storm cloud. And this middle level is simply beneath me.
I think I understand what you mean.
But the lower level, now they are my kind of people. They've got standards
Kadın da çok
that you
havalı
don't
ya.
see enough of round here.
Kendini bir
How
şey
can I
sanıyor abi.
raise my kudos level?
With kudos, obviously.
So how do I get more kudos?
Well, isn't that just the question? Like I said, be happy, get points.
But how can you be happy when you've just found out your husband is dead?
You think I'm not sad on the inside? No one's gonna give me a medal for having a dead husband.
But
Let's talk about something else, eh? My points have already dipped way too much today, thanks to you.
Alonso
what's
hakkında
with the
konuşalım.
Alonso guy?
Guy, I believe you're referring to Mentor Alonso from the Ministry of Well-Being. He's a high-ranking official. And thanks to you, he won't be taking his eyes off us anytime soon.
We got away with it, didn't we?
Do you think he's a fool? When he finds out who you really are, we're both done for. My kudos won't survive another hit like that.
Is Alonso coming back here?
For both our sakes, I hope not. But I'm not risking it, so don't even think about doing anything stupid.
Nothing stupid? For how long?
Very amusing. Until my kudos is back on track, obviously. But for now, you are Graham.
Okey.
Looks like
Fotoğrafçılıktan
Graham was
bahsedelim.
quite the photographer.
Oh, he was dreadful. At first I thought he was an artist. Then I found out he used those ridiculous antique cameras. It took hours to see the finished photographs. And he took forever fussing with the lighting. The only good thing about his photographs is that I'm in most of them.
What do you know about the council?
They run the city.
O
You
kızı
know,
nasıl
like they
indireceğiz
always
oradan
have
onu
since
düşünüyorum
Joe
abi ya.
left.
Can I speak to them?
Not with Graham's ID, you can't.
You work for the Ministry of Comfort?
Sure do. It might not sound prestigious, but without us, the city falls down.
You don't seem the type to settle for a cleaning job.
Cleaning supervisor, thank you very much. And you'll find in Union City, it's not what you do, it's how you do it that counts.
How so?
You know, get the job done, don't get in trouble, keep a smile on your face. The usual.
What can you tell me about the Minister for Comfort?
The terminal has their details. Look there if you want to know more.
Who's
Eyvallah.
this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his. Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Leet.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Did Leet believe in Graham's conspiracies?
Believe? Pretty sure he's where Graham got him from. Bad influence all round.
Are
Kayıp
you a
oyuncak.
collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kiddies. Even the limited edition Mama Bear
Ama bir
from
tanesi
5
eksik
years
abi orada.
back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy. Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked.
What does
Bartleby?
Bilby look like?
Bartleby is a Bilby. Adorable, long ears. Like a bandicoot and a rabbit all rolled into one. At least he was, before he went missing.
Oyuncak
What's a
izleyici
mama
ne?
bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies. Unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Arkadaki ayı oyuncak izleyicisi.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen... Squeeze the
Oh.
left ear to turn it on.
Okey.
Could Graham have had anything to do with kidnapping?
For both our sakes, I hope not.
Can I ask you about some missing children?
I'd rather you didn't.
Mind if I have a look?
Go ahead. Squeeze
Tamam,
the left
şimdi
ear to
oyuncak
turn it
izleyicisine
on.
bakacağız.
That's all for now.
Yeah.
Kız dışarıda.
bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why.
Okey. Şimdi arkadaşlar. İşte anne ayı. Oyuncak izleyicisi bu. Bunu hackleyebilir miyiz acaba? Şömineyi hackleyebiliyorum. Bunu hackleyemiyorum. Evet. Şimdi dostlarım bu bölümü burada sonlandıralım. Yoksa bayağı uzayacak. Diğer bölümde kaldığımız yerden önce anne ayıyı hackleyelim. Sonra da dışarıdaki fare kızı kurtarmanın bir yolunu arayacağız. Kaldığımız yerden devam edeceğiz. İzlediğiniz için çok teşekkür ediyorum. Diğer bölümde görüşmek üzere. Kendinize çok iyi bakın.